Good evening. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Terre Haute City Council. It is 6:02 p.m. on November 9, 2017. As accustomed to our regular meetings, we start off with a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance. Tonight will be led by Councilwoman Aller.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Michelle, please.
Councilwoman Aller. Present. Councilman Azar.
Present.
Councilwoman Crossan. Present. Councilman DeMond.
Here.
Councilman Elliott.
Here.
Councilman Garrison.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Nasser.
Present.
Councilman Nation.
Here.
All are present.
Thank you, Michelle. This is your first time at one of our regular city council meetings. We start off at the beginning of our meeting with a opportunity for public comments on non-agenda items. If you want to know what's on our agenda, it's up at this first queue up here. So if you do want to speak on something that's not on our agenda, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Donald Wayne Hyde. I live at 1411 Poplar, where I've lived a long time. This isn't on your agenda because this is brand new. I have been trying to get to this point for the last 3-4 months, and every time something else has come up to stop me. This time I've got no choice after what's happened both nationwide and locally to bring it up now. I believe we've had the last 3 presidential elections, at least the last 2, especially the last one, was the worst election we've ever had in the history of this nation, and the most expensive. And when I say most expensive, I mean waste of money. Neither party did anything for the people. They didn't even educate them on what they're going to do. Therefore, we have managed as a nation, and it goes all down to this grassroots. We are a grassroots part of this. We've alienated enough of the public that I believe that there's only one thing that can be done. We've got to quit spending tons of money on political advertisements over TV and magazines and go back to some of the basics, one-on-one meeting with people. Now, that's hard to do, but there is one way you could start that's not that expensive and wouldn't take that much time, but it would take effort on your part. I am proposing that this council has a photo contest. A photo contest requiring 4 pictures entered. I do not want them to be black and white, expensive photographs. I don't care if they're Xeroxed, but they need to have 4 of them. 2 that the person takes themselves, and 2 that they copy. And let me explain to you why. They're to give an answer to a simple question that you're going to ask them. Why do you live in Terre Haute, Indiana? Why do you live in Vigo County? 2, why do you love living in Terre Haute, Indiana and Vigo County? These 4 pictures can be taken, other than the 2 they have to take themselves, of anything. Doesn't matter. We're not doing this for a photo contest to see who the best photographer in the world is, and I know what I'm talking about. I am one of the best photographers. I don't care about that. I care about what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and what means something deep down in their soul. Why do they live here? Why do they love living here? Why do they stay? And you need to know the same thing. We need to start having civility brought back into the political process, whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. And the best way to bring civility back into the political process is to get the people that live in this county and in this city to participate and tell you simply the answer to those questions. And there is no right or wrong answer. It tells you what they want. Now, the reason this is important is because we really went off the rails for our democracy. We need to get back on the rails. But the first thing you've got to do is remind the people why they're here, why they care about democracy in the first place, why they care about this community. Now, you're proposing, and you're going to spend money, lots of money, that the taxpayers of this county and city are going to pay for the next 20 years or more. Well, you've got to sell them on this. But before you can sell them on that, you've got to ask them, what do they want? What do they like about living here in this county and in this city? Why do they stay? Now, I know what the answer is for myself, and I haven't got time with 3 minutes to give you an answer. You know it yourself. But I ask you, even with what you know, could you take those 4 pictures? 2 pictures you take of yourself that you personally take. I don't care if it's on a camera. I don't care if it's on a phone. And you blow them up to at least something bigger than a 5x7 and put them on a piece of paper, or no bigger than an 8x10. Again, we're not after a photo contest. I don't care how talented the kid is or how untalented the adult is or the old age person is. What we're after is what they see when they look out in this county and in this city. What do they consider worth living here? Now, once you're
Mr. Hyde, if you could just limit your comments.
I'll finish it. The reason you need that is we need to get back to what they want. And that's the only way you're going to be able to come across with the true answers to the 4 things you need to do here. That's going to cost us a lot of money. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak on non-agenda items this evening? Okay. Corrections to the journal, Michelle?
There are none.
Communications?
They're in your packets.
Reports from government agencies? First order of business, Michelle, please.
Special Ordinance 50, 2017, approving the issuance and sale of special taxing district bonds of the Terre Haute Sanitary District, previously tabled and a request to be withdrawn.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Counsel Eddie Felling, City Attorney. As far as an update this evening, petitioner is requesting that this be withdrawn, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on Special Ordinance 50, 2017? Counsel? Eddie, I do have a question. I know we're going to table this. Do you have any idea when you're going to bring it back? Because I know the mayor always repeatedly says that we're under a court order and that IDM is watching this. So when are we going to bring this back? That's not right.
Correct. And just as a correction, it will be withdrawn,
Okay.
not tabled.
Okay.
So I would anticipate this would come back before the council, likely late summer or fall of 2018.
Mr. President.
Councilman Nation.
Eddie, when this comes back, what needs to be done to it?
Well, as far as what's in front of you today,
Mhm.
I don't know that anything needs to be done with it. At this juncture, tentative plan would be to attempt to get the design complete, get bids in hand, and come back to the council with lowest responsible bidder, and we'd have a dollar amount then.
So if there's a $15 million piece of this that doesn't require council action, will that go ahead and proceed now?
We would attempt to do that. Again, going back to why both of these came up, why we were asking for this at this juncture without having numbers in hand, the reason why we were doing that was based upon a request by the SRF to issue the bonds. The general idea was we don't want to issue a bond for a design if we don't have a willing council there to issue a bond for the construction itself. So essentially attempt to ensure that we wouldn't be wasting any money on a design for a project that wouldn't move forward. But we will attempt to work with them to get the revenue bonds sold and to continue with the design at this point.
Okay, so you sell the revenue bond, you get the $15 million, then you're able to go ahead and proceed with design. Then design in hand, better set of what it's going to cost, numbers in hand. You come back to the council with those mid-year.
Yes, I mean, it would be at least late summer at that point. And the idea would be not only design numbers, possibly even a bid at that point so we know exactly what the dollar, even if you have a design, you don't know what the exact dollar amount is going to be, nor would you want to necessarily advertise what you think it's going to cost, because you'd be tipping off then anybody that would be bidding on the project. So if we have a hope, for example, that it would cost, say, $60 million, we don't want to advertise from the design standpoint that that's what we think it should cost, because we want to have the lowest possible bidder come in.
All right. Is there any role for this council in the steps that you've just outlined between now and the time that it comes back to us?
Absolutely. As we move down this path, and once again, the big if is making sure we can move forward with getting the bond sold for the design itself. Otherwise, we can't move forward. Based upon the participation we've seen, I believe the administration would be more than happy to have one or more council members be a part of that discussion as we analyze the design as it moves forward. And be happy to keep you updated with those dates and any meetings that would go along.
What might that look like if there were council members among us who wanted to participate in that?
I would ask that the council reach out either to myself, Mr. Ennis, the mayor. We'd be more than happy to facilitate. Obviously, I won't be a part of the design part. I'm not an engineer, but anybody that would want to be a part of those meetings, and there will be, I can imagine, at least a couple dozen meetings over the next 9 months or so. Anybody that would like to participate, we can give you an idea of when those meetings will be and make sure there's an open invitation to those meetings.
Have you talked to the SRF about this path that we're getting ready to embark on?
I personally have not. I know Mr. Odden, who is our bond counsel out of Indianapolis, has a line with SRF. The idea has been discussed. I do not know, nor have we received any concrete approval from SRF as far as moving forward. So we will be, as of today, pushing that as hard as we can to make sure we can continue to move on with the project and stay as close as we can to the timeline that was presented to us by IDEM.
And has there been any contact with IDEM about this idea or this current plan?
At this point, I don't believe so. We will, no matter what, the way this is going, not meet the exact deadlines. We'll be fairly close to what was in the package that you were given last month. We will most likely have to have some sort of a short extension to what IDEM set forth in the plan. My hope would be that if SRF allows us to move forward with the design portion of it, we're showing good faith, obviously, that we're pursuing the project, and hopefully it would be more of an update as opposed to a flat-out extension for a purely stalled reason. That we would be clearly moving still at that point.
And you may not be able to answer this, but why didn't we pursue this current path in the first place?
And again, based upon our discussion, our attorney, Matt of Indianapolis, our bond counsel's discussion with SRF originally, there was concern by the SRF for issuing the bonds without ensuring that there would be funding there moving forward with the construction itself.
Well, speaking just for myself, I recognize the importance of doing this project. I recognize the importance of continuing with it and keeping IDEM and the EPA off our backs, or happy, or however you want to put it. And I applaud the administration for being flexible and figuring out a way to keep things moving forward and give the council a better set of numbers at the end of the process. It sounds like you heard that that's what we want, and I know that's what I want. So thanks for showing that flexibility and trying something different. I know.
And again, the primary thing is making sure we continue to move. We don't want to end up like some of the other communities and have something fall flat too early when we do still have other potential avenues in which to pursue the project.
And I don't think any of us want the city to get involved with any of the regulators either. That's certainly not my intention in demanding better numbers and more clarity on what it is that we've that this process looks like and how we've gotten to this point and where we're going. I think that it's important, though, that we show good faith, keep moving forward, and that this council is prepared whenever you bring something back next year to keep working and drilling down and figuring out what it is we can live with. That's it, I yield.
Councilman Elliott.
Just from my perspective, I will be reaching out to Mr. Ennis soon. I'd rather continue my effort to get my arms around all this now while what I have done is still fresh, rather than wait until next May or so to do that again. I do want to share, there was a Carroll Competes meeting this morning, probably 20-some people there. The topic of the wastewater utility came up, and there was some concern expressed about the value of our asset if there's another $60 or $70 million added to that. So this development provides, I guess, additional food for thought for me and that group on that. They did make a comment also about wanting to come to council and present on the other topics that they haven't presented on yet, plus any follow-up they have on the one topic they have presented. So I think we can expect to hear from them. I yield.
Okay, move to withdraw special ordinance 50.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman.
Hold on, somebody there wants to talk.
Go ahead.
You are now.
Transparency is key.
I wasn't sure when the opportunity would be.
Okay.
Pat Goodwin, 2215 North 10th Street. Came last week, learned through listening to you all what was going on, and I'm disappointed by the gamesmanship we're seeing tonight, which is, doesn't look like it's going to pass, we'll withdraw it, and basically proceed, get it to the point where you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, and then the council will have to say yes. I recall last week, a big part of the discussion was we had a $10 million proposed fee for consulting work that should have been somewhere probably in the $3 to $5 million range. Apparently, they're going to go ahead and spend that. So you're not going to get a chance to say that was too much later on. My question is, I think people deserve to know, is there already a contract for that design work? And if so, because we were told it won't really be that much, if there's a contract, how much is it for? I think we deserve to know.
Eddie, do you know the answer to that?
Well, I can't point out specifics. Generally, how these types of engineering contracts work are based upon design costs, so it's a percentage basis. So I think that's why we don't know exactly what the ultimate cost would be at this point, but we do have projections with regard to that. So,
is there a contract?
I'm sure we're contracted for the design work, absolutely.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay, my motion stands.
It's been moved by Councilman Azar, second by Councilwoman Aller, that we withdraw Special Ordinance 50, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's withdrawn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next order of business, please.
General Ordinance 9, 2017, amending City Code, Chapter 7, Article 3, Fire Prevention Code, and Chapter 2, Article 9, Funds and Fiscal Procedures.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Norman Latimer, Assistant Chief Terrell Fire Department. Good news is I have a cold. So hopefully won't be talking very long. The bad news is I have a cold, so hopefully won't be talking very long. So we discussed this last week. I'm here to answer any questions.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak on General Ordinance 9, 2017? Councilman Garrison?
Yep, just wanted to talk a little bit more about this. I know the council had approved this in early 17. It needed to be amended by the state. I think that's been done, and so now we're looking at it again. I opposed it before, but I wanted to, as I said before, I want to do a little due diligence and make some phone calls with other Class 2 cities, or those, I think they're Class 2 cities. I don't want to say they're all they all are, but they were 4 or 5 years ago when I was studying all the Class II cities. And I think there are more now. I think there's more like 24, 25. At any rate, I had 13 that I had either called and got to talk to someone either in the clerk's department, fire department, mostly the fire department, or mayor's office, finance office. And 13 of those all said that they do not charge the fee that is before us tonight. Even though it's a small amount, I think it's $25 per inspection. To me, it sends a bad message to our businesses. I think we should be encouraging businesses to come here and those that are here to continue to develop and not charge them fees. So anyway, 13 of those. I don't know if I have to read all those again. I think you guys, that's in the record of those 13. Today, I made some additional calls. I know, I think Norm had said there was one that is charging a fee, and I called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This morning, got responses from 4 of those, and that's Fisher's Fire Department, Kokomo, Indiana, Muncie, Indiana, and Noblesville. And I'm pretty sure, Norm, you said that Noblesville did charge, but they do not. All 4 of those are in addition to the 13. So now we have 17 that are not charging. One of them, I think Noblesville said that, to his knowledge, no one that are Class II cities are charging for this fee. But several of them are charging for non-compliant businesses. When they go out and do an inspection, they don't correct what they wanted them to correct, and they have an opportunity to charge those, which is in this. And I think it should remain. I think they should have some teeth to go back and enforce these. So that total is now 17 that are not charging. I got 0 that said that they were charging for this. So I wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. For those of you who had supported this before, I know for elected officials, when you vote one way and then something comes back and you vote another way, everybody has a fear of doing that. But I think that this information that I stumbled across really is pretty compelling, and it gives you an out. If you do want to change your mind, I think you have some reasoning there to tell Mr. Loudermilk or the fire department or the public why you've reconsidered that. And the last thing is, as we all know, the other costs that we're faced with this year, and sounds like next year now, with the jail, sewage fee increases, and any bond changes that will come in the future, the schools and police station. So based on all that, I would like to submit an amendment, and I think that you all have that now. Amendment to General Ordinance 9, 2007, on page 13.
I don't have it.
You can have mine. I don't really need it. Basically, what we're saying is for the first inspection that they will be doing, we're going to take those out. So that first box on page 13, the entire box will be lined through. Most of those they start at 25, there's a 35, a 45, I think a $55 fee. I think there's a fee for the restaurants that are paid $25 per system twice a year. All of those are coming out. Everything else is left the same. So that is my amendment to General Ordinance 9, 2017. Michelle, do you need anything else to make that amendment or motion? Motion to make the amendment, I guess. General Ordinance 9, 2017, as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman or Councilman Garrison that we amend General Ordinance 9, 2017, second by Councilwoman Carlson. Don, you said you want.
Well, Norm, I just think the timing of this is bad, just with, it's funny, the first time I voted for it, I never did get one call. I never had one person complain about it. But now I've had phone call after phone call, and I've had people in public stop me. And I'm not sure it's particularly for this. It's the frustration with the fee raises, the sewer raises. And just in defense, I understand what you're doing, but I kind kind of think the timing's all wrong. It's not your fault at all. So it's just, there's a growing cloud among the city of fees, sewer rates, bond issues, and all this stuff. So it kind of surprised me at the attacks of this. So I yield.
So, first let's talk about the timing. This ordinance was already passed. This isn't something new. You guys passed it, we discussed it, it's over. The only reason we're back here is because it wasn't written in the format that the state required. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this discussion. We would still be going out and doing what we were doing. I don't think that the fire department or the community should suffer because it's not a good time. I mean, there are times when I sit on this council where we tackled things that were not popular or controversial every month, and it didn't seem like that was a good time either. But I didn't check on the timing of this. All we did was try to do what we were supposed to do. So to defend this ordinance, again, I'll start with a little book that was written by the United States government, and it was written by FEMA, Funding Alternatives to Emergency Services and Fire Services. And in this 2012 document, the majority of it talks about trying to pay for services because everyone's budget's being cut across the nation through fees. And it says one of the most popular things to do is inspection fees, having long been used by fire departments to provide funding for fire prevention. Fee scheduling among jurisdictions vary. Inspection fees may be based upon the type of inspection, the square footage, the occupancy, mercantile, residential, multi-purpose, whatever. A flat rate can be paid, or additional fees can be subsequent upon reinspection in case there are failures. Additionally, any type of hazardous material situation can also be charged a fee as they provide additional risk. Some communities do what's called self-inspection programs, where they actually mail an inspection sheet to the business. The business goes out and fills that inspection sheet out, signs it as an affidavit that what they found was true, sends it back to the fire department with their money, and then the fire department doesn't even go inspect them. It's a self-inspection. Because, again, the fire departments were invented to provide fire protection. All of the other services that were required later that were mandated by state law without any funding, like inspection programs, and now the local governments are required to do those by state law, but yet there's no money or no revenue coming in. So if you want to build a building in Terre Haute, you have to go to Indianapolis and pay a fee, but the city of Terre Haute doesn't get any of that money. So, again, the fire department's out there working, they're doing their job, and they're not doing just what taxpayers are being paid for. It's not double dipping. These people are doing a service that's required by state law, and they should be funded for some of that. Now, the amount of money that goes out toward our prevention program isn't going to be equal to what we're going to bring in. This is going to be a very small amount of money that comes in, but still, it's going to help offset some of those things we talked about before. So now let's talk about the fees themselves. My fire chief wrote down, as he could remember as quickly as Mr. Garrison went through all of the cities, and he sent those cities to me for me to check, because I didn't think I could be that wrong. I mean, I've been wrong before, but I was mistaken. I'm just kidding. So I've been wrong, but on this case, I couldn't have been this wrong. So I had contacted some of these cities before I introduced this ordinance in April and used some of their prevention ordinances as a template for city legal to go by to write our ordinance. And so I'll tell you that the information Mr. Garrison has given you is misleading at best and false at worst. There are cities that charge for inspections, and they mask those by putting them in the building inspection department. So what people do is they go pay a permit in the building inspection department, and the building inspection department emails the fire department, and they go out and do an inspection. So I called these cities, I looked online, I have a copy of all of their fee schedules for every one I just gave you, right here. Now, I didn't make a copy for everybody because you can see they're pretty lengthy, but I'm going to leave this with the clerk, so if anybody wants to look at it, they can, to show you proof that not just a phone call that I made, that I have proof that either they faxed me their fee schedule or they, for online for me to download, that matches what's in this spreadsheet. So, Anderson, yes, they charge $75 a fee amount and a reinspection of $40. But yet Anderson was one of the cities that Mr. Garrison listed that doesn't charge. So I'm not going to insult your intelligence and go through every single one of these, because I don't think I need to. But I know that Anderson, Bloomington, which is actually Monroe County. So if you call Bloomington Fire Department and say, hey, do you guys charge for an annual fire inspection? The answer is no. But if you call Monroe County Building Inspection, because they have a combined city-county, they'll tell you that you have to pay a fee for a sprinkler system, and that the fire department goes out and does those inspections. So whether we call it a permit or whether we call it a fee, a rose is a rose. They're still collecting revenue for the fire departments going out and conducting these inspections. Now, whether it's just on new business or it's an annual fire inspection, like Mr. Garrison said, that's the difference, okay? Some cities don't charge an annual inspection, like Mr. Garrison said. They charge a permit when the building's first built, and then they don't go back out and do it again. They have to inspect every year, but they're not required to go out and pay a fee every year. Some cities do a permit fee, and then they do a renewal permit. So if you have a sprinkler system, you pay $200, and the next year you pay $150 to renew it. So whether it's called a permit and paid in the building inspection department, or it's called a fee and paid somewhere else, it's still revenue coming out of someone's pocket in the business, which is what Mr. Garrison is concerned about. Now, I'll tell you why they mask that. Because they don't have to do what we're doing. If it's in the building inspection department, they don't have to go before the Fire and Building Commission, because it's not part of the fire prevention ordinance. So Chuck Ennis could walk up here tomorrow and, with the council's blessing, put a permit fee in for sprinklers. And if you so chose, you could say aye and introduce it for whatever you wanted, 150, 200, whatever it is. And that money would go to wherever Chuck wanted it to go. And nobody would have to know that except for us. But because this is in a fire prevention ordinance, and because, as Mr. Garrison put it, stays in the fire department coffers, we now are under the microscope. There's no difference. Our coffers have to be approved by the council through an appropriation, just like anything else. The money that we would have in this fund, as I explained to you back in April or whenever it was that this ordinance first passed, has to be approved by you through an appropriation or through a budget. So you absolutely will be in control of that money. I'm required to report to you what we do every year, whether it's inspections or investigations or prevention, so that you'll have a good idea of what we're doing. The fees are nominal compared to what you see going down here. $25, $35, $45 for an annual inspection, sprinkler systems, hood systems, all those things that we look at, we are right in line, or on the low end, rather, of what other cities do. And I think to amend this ordinance to take that opportunity that we have to implement a fee that's going to assist this department. You guys are supposed to be up there being a watchdog for the community. And I get that. I did it for a while. But you're also supposed to find innovative ways to fund city government. And we've been through the gambit. We have wrote grants. We have begged. Every year we send letters out to local businesses who provide us with revenue to buy some of those things we're talking about. We've done everything we can, besides a chili supper, like the volunteer agencies have. We've done everything we can to try to find revenue. And the chief can attest to how much has been cut from our budgets, what we don't spend now because we don't have it. Now, many of these cities that don't inspect or don't charge for inspections, they have things like a local income tax. They have things like a sewer storm fee. So they have the ability to raise revenue in other places, so they don't need to do this. Carmel doesn't have a fee schedule because they don't need it. Their tax base is massive, and they have a storm fee. But cities like our size, like Lafayette, yeah, $50 for annual inspection, $50 for every reinspection, $50 for the next one, and then $100 for the one after that. If it's a fourth reinspection, they charge $250. And Lafayette Fire Department sits at all the Krogers and Walmarts and writes tickets for parking in the fire lane in the morning. So when they don't charge fees, they go out and issue citations, what Mr. Garrison wants us to do. So now I walk into a business with one of my fire marshals, and I say, you have an exit sign that's out, or maybe a fire extinguisher that's old. But instead of saying, give you 15 days to take care of it, what we'll do is we're going to write you a ticket. And the ticket's $250. And for every violation, that's what we're going to write you for. Or we give you 15 days to fix your stuff, and then you get $25 inspection fee. I think we're bending over backwards to be accommodating to every business. And I don't know why we're having the discussion again when it was passed by the council 4 months ago, or longer.
Councilman Morris.
Norm, what is the engineering department doing? Are they collecting money that should go to you?
No, they're doing nothing.
They're not instigating any fees or...
For fire prevention stuff?
Well, like these, the sprinklers, the alarms, the systems.
No, they're not doing any of that. I had a conversation with Chuck Innes before, I'm sorry.
We're missing the boat there, right, too?
Well, I was just going to hit that. I had a conversation with Chuck Innes in the legal office before the ordinance was first introduced back in January of 17 or whenever it was. And he said, and I quote, we really need to upgrade our fee schedule as well, contractor licensing, building inspection, based on square footage, all those types of things. And I said, well, we could put our ordinances together and come here, and say, hey, this is all different parts of the code, but obviously it's important we update our code. And he said, I'm not even ready for that. I have too much on my plate. And of course, you saw that just for this small ordinance, it's taken us a year to get it done and bring it back before you. So I just think that, if you were to look at the fee schedule all the way across the board, these communities will charge for swimming pools.
There is no fee that they're collecting to help that income.
I'm sorry?
There's no fee from engineering, correct?
I
Michelle?
don't follow your question.
Engineering collects permit fees.
Yep.
But engineering does not look at sprinkler systems in the way that
These other cities.
Norm would look at it.
Right.
Right.
They do building inspections for new construction or remodeling and everything, but Norm is saying that he would look at it in a different way than they examine it.
When they do those inspections, do they have you do them?
Yes.
And there's
We do them together. The building inspector puts on a calendar, like a new business is built, and the building inspector puts on a calendar that, first of all, when they come and get a building permit or they get a design release from the state, we're notified of that. So I assign, based on the district and the city, I assign that to a fire marshal. They meet with the architect or general contractor, review the plans, get the fire protection plans, make sure they're in compliance, and then we move forward. And as they build the building, like the Highland Quarters on Cherry Street, we inspected that building 7 times. We walked through when they were just starting. We saw the rough end. We saw the sprinkler pipe before they were covered up. We verified that they were there. And then we got to the end where we did our C of O.
But there's still no charge of fee from engineering?
For those stores we do?
Yeah.
No. Or, no, there's not, so yes, you're correct.
Thank you. And your code's gotten better.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Councilman Garrison.
Just to hopefully sum up, the question that I asked was a very simple question to 25 cities, 17 responses, and the question goes like this. Do you charge an annual fire inspection fee in your city? Very simple. Okay, this is not when I build a building, as was just mentioned. This was not pay more in Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a Class 1 city or Class 2. This research is from Class 2 cities. There are some other conversations about some inspect their own. That might be a town. I don't know. I don't think Class 2 cities are doing that. So I just want to be clear on that. It's very simple. phone call, very simple conversations from a variety of people, majority of fire departments, and they're not charging for that. And as I said before, they're only charging when they have to go back when they're not compliant. The reason why we're having this discussion is we have new information. This isn't passed. The old one was passed. This is a new one with the revision, okay? This is what the state allowed us to examine and vote on. This is a new, as I said before, we have new costs in the community. This is going to be perceived, if this is passed, more costs voted on by the council that I think is going to reflect poorly on all of us. So I would just ask for you guys to support that and call for the question on the amendment.
Okay. I have a couple questions. Okay, Councilman Orr.
Okay, I got a quick question. So say a business, you go out and you inspect them, you charge them the $25 fee, or whatever it is in the ordinance.
Yes.
Okay? And then say there's problems. At that point in time, are they handed a piece of paper, at that point in time, the business, so they know exactly what is wrong, that needs corrected before they have a revisit?
Yes.
Or is it something that is mailed to them?
No.
So it should be handed to them?
It's not handed to them. We don't have printers in our cars.
Okay,
It's emailed to them.
okay.
So whoever signs for that inspection, like a manager, an owner, whoever it is that signs for that, they provide an email address. And that email address is for that business. So it could be the owner's email address, it could be a corporate email address, it could be, their own personal, whatever. And then we email them the inspection report right there. It's got their signature on it, showing that they understand what they've been, I don't want to say cited for, but list of the deficiencies. It's got our signature on who did the inspection. And of course, it always says you have 15 days to remedy this, and we'll be back for reinspection. Some people call us and say, hey, I got my fire extinguishers fixed, or I got the exit sign working, and we come back, or we say, take a picture of it and send it to us. Then we verify that, and it's done. Then we'll fix that in the report, that it's been corrected, and we re-email them the updated copy, so they have a report from the insurance company or loss prevention or whatever that shows that they're good on their fire inspection.
So once they get that second inspection,
Yeah.
that everything is correct, then they're good for the whole year?
They should be good
Unless it's a-
they should be good for 12 months.
Unless it's a food,
Unless there's other issues that have come up, yes.
but there's nothing else in that report that was handed to them.
Then it should be, they should not have, and then, yeah.
And they've had the second inspection and everything's correct with it.
Yeah,
They should be done.
By law, we only inspect one time a year, unless it's a kitchen, and then we inspect twice a year.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about a kitchen, I'm just talking about a
Right.
regular business. So once they've had their initial, then they get their second inspection and they get a note that everything's clear, they're good for a year.
As long as they've corrected every deficiency on the
Right,
report.
and they have, and then you've gave them a letter that says.
And they shouldn't
everything
have to, they shouldn't come back unless there's been some complaint by the public. We went to Dollar General, or Family Dollar, Billy, was it Family Dollar? And you had Dollar Tree. We went to Dollar Tree in Town South Plaza, probably 4 or 5 times last month, because they stacked their stock in the aisles, they had their door blocked, so we went and met with the manager, she was a fill-in, we'll get it taken care of. The next day it was taken care of. A week later, somebody called up and said, I can't walk to the aisle at Dollar General. They actually posted on Facebook. So we went back down there, they had done it again. Now a different manager came in, and when the stock truck got there, they stacked the boxes in the aisles. People couldn't even push a cart through there. A lady couldn't get a walker through. So what do? You got to tell them to pick the stuff up again. So there are times we go back 3 and 4 and 5 times if we get complaints. But as long as people don't get a complaint, we don't receive a complaint, then you're talking about a general annual fire inspection.
All right.
We walk in, we inspect, we give them the report, and we walk out.
So say there is a complaint, when you go into the business, do you let them know, hey, we're here again because we've had a complaint about X, X, and X?
Yep, we're supposed to do that with every single one, even on the annual fire inspection.
All right, I yield.
Councilman Azar.
Just a couple things that just
concerned me was when you said if we don't charge the $25 fee, then you could just walk in and say, cite the person. Do you do that now, or would you do that?
I've been in this job since 16, we've never wrote anybody a ticket.
Okay.
And in the time I've been on the fire department, I can't recall wherever a ticket was issued.
Okay. On the, I just happened to notice this on the kitchen, are you talking about on the kitchen fire protection, are you talking about the
Hoods.
hoods? All right, they're inspected by people that do that work.
Right.
So why would the fire department want to re-inspect that when it's already been inspected?
So here's what happens. When the fire prevention or protection companies come out, they are fire protection engineers or technicians. They're the ones you call that design the sprinkler systems or tell you what your hood system will be, and their technicians install them. We're there to verify that they did their work properly. We make sure that we're there for what's called a trip test, where they take the tips off and put balloons on, put inert gas in and blow the balloons up like there's a real fire. So we're there for that, to make sure all the nozzles work. We check to make sure that the screens are clean, that they cleaned them properly, because I know, maybe not here or in your business, but some people will just go through, change the tags, and walk out. Not have checked anything, not have cleaned anything, not have tested anything. So you're paying for a service you didn't get. So what we do is we verify that they did that. If we walk in and find a dirty hood, and you've got a recent tag, and we talk to you and say, hey, your hood's dirty, we need to get this cleaned out, and you say, well, I just had it done, we're going to ask for what's called the ITM, Inspection, Testing, and Maintenance Record. And we find out that that's not been done properly, Corson's in trouble, or Dalmatian, or whoever it is that went and did that work. And we call them back, and then you're going to get it done for free. But that's never a citable thing on our part. All we do is just try to work with the companies.
I mean, I think we all want everybody safe and sound, and I don't think the question's not there. I think the question is, with some, is about the fees. I voted for it last time, and I would probably vote for it this time. And I see both sides of the issue, so I yield.
Let's go ahead and call the question. Roll call, Michelle, on the amendment, please.
Councilwoman Aller.
No.
Councilman Azar.
No.
Councilwoman Crossan.
Yes.
Councilman DeBon.
No.
Councilman Elliott.
No.
Councilman Garrison.
Yes.
Councilman Morris.
Yes.
Councilman Nation.
Yes.
Councilman Nasser.
No.
That's 5 no and, 4 yes, 5 no.
Motion's defeated, or amendment's defeated.
Move to approve General Ordinance 9 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Azar, second by Councilwoman Aller, that we approve General Ordinance 9, 2017. Roll call, Michelle, please.
Councilwoman Aller.
Yes.
Councilman Azar.
Yes.
Councilwoman Crossan.
No.
Councilman DeBon.
Yes.
Councilman Elliott.
In the interest of safety, yes.
Councilman Garrison.
No.
Councilman Morris.
No.
Councilman Nation.
Yes.
Councilman Nasser.
Yes.
6 yes, 3 no.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much for your time.
Next order of business, please.
General Ordinance 10, 2017, amending Chapter 9, Article 8, construction site and post-construction site stormwater control.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Good evening, Council. Marcus Myers, City Engineers Department. We talked about this last week, but to reiterate, this came from an audit from IDEM of our construction and post-construction program. They were all right with our construction site stormwater quality program, but felt there was some more need in our post-construction ordinance. So we tried to put together an ordinance that was as easy on development as possible, but met IDEMs and, stormwater quality improvements. There's no additional fees proposed. And generally, we're just, this ordinance is going to be requiring review, which we already do, of the post-construction procedures, inspection. That's something we don't currently do, but shouldn't be a problem. And it's going to require them to add some additional water quality protection to what they're doing to deal with stormwater, but nothing too extreme.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on General Ordinance 10, 2017? Council?
Move to approve General Ordinance 10, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Moore, second by Councilman DeBon, that we approve General Ordinance 10, 2017. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 8, 2017, $22,762 from edit number 0404 to demo of unsafe buildings number 432018.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President, members of the council, my name is Lou Britton. I'm here representing the Redevelopment Commission. I'm sure I can't provide as erudite an explanation of this subject as Dean did at your meeting last week, but basically, this and several other appropriations for unsafe buildings represent funds that were collected by the Redevelopment Commission from demolition lien, from property owners for demolition that was done by the city. Those payments were made by the property owner to the city, and we're asking that those funds be refunded back to the Redevelopment Commission so that they can put it back in their unsafe building fund and hopefully take care of demolition of other derelict and dangerous buildings.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on Appropriation 8, 2017? Council?
Mr. President,
Councilman Nation?
if there's no further discussion, I move for approval of appropriation number 8.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Nation, second by Councilwoman Crossen, that we approve Appropriation 8, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 9, 2017, $17,375.06 from General Fund 0101 to Police Repair Supplies number 423015 for $10,000, and to Vehicle Repair and Maintenance number 437030 for $7,375.06.
Okay, Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Yes. Mr. President, members of council, Sean King, Assistant Chief, Thorough Police Department. This transfer is stated in regards to insurance payments made for vehicle accidents, and it's been moved to the general fund, and we're asking it to be placed in our vehicle repair and maintenance accounts and supplies.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on Appropriation 9, 2017? Council?
Mr. President,
Councilman Morris?
no further questions. I move that Appropriation 9, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Moore, second by Councilwoman Aller, that we approve Appropriation 9, 2017. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, Michelle, please.
Appropriation 10, 2017, $96,622.44 from General Fund 0101 to Police Overtime number 412129.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President, members of council, Sean King, Thorough Police Department. There's actually, I don't know if there's a typo on this, but it should actually be $92,622.04 or 44 according to the paperwork I have.
Mr. President, it was submitted to me for $96,622.44, but the memo does say $92,622.44. But you can amend it and reduce it without re-advertising.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Crossen?
I move amendment of this appropriation to be the amount of $92,622.44.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Crossen that we amend Appropriation 10, 2017, second by Councilman Garrison. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? It's amended.
Mr.
Sorry.
President,
Councilman Nation?
I move that appropriation number 10, 2017, as amended, be approved.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Nation, second by Councilwoman Aller, that we approve appropriation 10, 2017 as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, Michelle.
Appropriation 11, 2017, $4,640 from edit number 0404 to demo of unsafe buildings number 432018.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President, members of the council, I'm Lou Britton, representing the Redevelopment Commission. It's the same thing as the last one, transferring funds collected from a property owner following demolition of an unsafe building to be transferred back for the building fund.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on appropriation 11, 2017? Council?
President Nasser, I move approval of appropriation 11, 2017 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilwoman Aller, that we approve appropriation 11, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 12, 2017, $30,208 from edit number 0404 to demo of unsafe buildings number 432018.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President, members of the council, ditto.
Is there anyone from the council, or excuse me, public that'd like to speak on appropriation 12, 2017? Council?
President Nasser,
Councilman Garrison?
ditto. I'd like to make a motion to approve appropriation 12, 2017 as presented.
Ditto, second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilwoman Aller, that we approve appropriation 12, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 13, 2017, $20,603.43 from General Fund 0101 to EPD part-time employees number 412105 for $6,000, to overtime number 412129 for $4,000, to operating supplies number 422005 for $4,000, to gasoline number 422010 for $3,373, to repair supplies 423015 for $2,000, and services contractual number 432010 for $1,230.43.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President, members of the council, Sean Keating, Police Department. These are edit reimbursements for the EPD as she's described. I'll answer any questions if you have them.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on appropriation 13, 2017? Council?
President Nasser,
Councilman Garrison?
I think that's the way to do an appropriation, just put it all in there. Makes it nice and easy. I make a motion to approve appropriation 13, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilwoman Crossen, that we approve appropriation 13, 2017. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 14, 2017, $2,129 from edit number 0404 to demo of unsafe buildings number 432018.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President, members of the council, my name is Lou Britton. I'm representing the petitioner, the Redevelopment Commission. This is another refund of collections from demolition of unsafe buildings.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on appropriation 14, 2017? Council?
President Nasser,
Councilman Garrison?
keep up the good work, Lou, on behalf of the Redevelopment Commission. Appreciate you taking out the buildings we need to go away. I make a motion to approve appropriation 14, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilman Morris, that we approve appropriation 14, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 15, 2017, $1,700 from edit number 0404 to demo of unsafe buildings number 432018.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President, members of the council, my name is Lou Britton, representing the petitioner, Redevelopment Commission. Ditto again.
Okay. Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on appropriation 15, 2017? Council?
President Nasser, make a motion to approve appropriation 15, 2017 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilman DeBon, that we approve appropriation 15, 2017. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much. I would have been in serious trouble with Dean if you guys hadn't passed those.
The last thing you want.
All right. Thanks, Lou. Next order of business, Michelle, please.
Appropriations 16, 2017, $315,000 from Rainy Day Fund number 0200 to Police Pension Fund number 391021.
Good evening, petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President, members of the council, I'm Leslie Ellis, the city controller. I have the next 8 appropriations on the agenda. I went through discussion last week and did a detailed discussion. I'd be happy to answer any questions tonight. Appropriation 16 is just transferring money from the rainy day fund into the police pension fund.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on appropriation 16, 2017? Council? Councilman Elliott?
Leslie, I noticed in our comprehensive financial plan, it showed a $200,000 transfer from rainy day to that fund. This is 315. Any explanation for that?
Right. When we ran the actual numbers, it came out that we needed about $315,000 in there. So I can show you the details of it.
No, so it's just a revision?
Just a revision, and once this is, if you all choose to pass these, and once we finalize the end of the year, I'll give all the information to Umball & Associates so they can update their comprehensive financial plan.
Well, fortunately, the remaining 115 or whatever wasn't needed anywhere else, or 151.
Right.
Okay. I yield.
Leslie, I get a lot of people that ask me, what is the purpose of a rainy day fund? I mean, we have it, but what is it normally?
What is the
used for?
purpose of rainy day fund? Save for a rainy day. That would be my assumption.
Just for stuff like this, or?
Yes, anything, an emergency type of thing, what's happened throughout the state with the property tax caps and other revenue issues. Some of the other communities have eaten into theirs a little bit sooner. We've eaten into ours a little bit.
So it's more for financial emergencies, not like if there's a storm that we have to cut a bunch of trees down and stuff?
Well, that could be an emergency as well.
Okay, so it's primarily...
If there's something that's not in the budget, absolutely.
Okay.
President Nasser.
Councilman
Make approval of appropriation 16, 2017 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilman Elliott, that we approve appropriation 16, 2017. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 17, 2017, $445,000 from transit number 0621 to operating supplies number 422005 for $45,000, to gasoline number 422010 for $75,000, to diesel fuel number 422020 for $65,000, to repair supplies number 423015 for $60,000, to workers' comp number 435010 for $35,000, to principal notes number 439178 for $105,000, purchase of equipment number 444010 for $5,000, and capital maintenance number 444135 for $55,000.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President and council members, appropriation 17 is for the transit fund, for just the line items that Michelle just read off.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on appropriation 17, 2017? Please state your name and address for the record.
Donald Hyde, just one quick question. They say transit fund. You talking about the buses or what?
Yes, that's right. Anybody else from the public? Council?
President Nasser, move for approval of appropriation 17, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilwoman Aller, that we approve appropriation 17, 2017. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 18, 2017, $36,515.27 from rainy day fund number 0200 to Parks and Recreation fund number 391021.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President and council members, I'm Leslie Ellis, the city controller. Appropriation 18 is to move the remainder of the rainy day fund into the Parks and Recreation fund.
Is there a petitioner, anybody from the public that'd like to speak on appropriation 18, 2017? Council?
Mr. President,
Councilman Garrison?
move for approval of appropriation 18, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilwoman Aller, that we approve appropriation 18, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 19, 2017, $89,000 from Parks on Reverting Project Fund number 0742 to improvements number 443020 for $5,000, to purchase of equipment number 444010 for $15,000, to purchase of office equipment number 444040 for $1,000, to purchase of playground equipment number 444060 for $20,000, and to principal notes number 439178 for $48,000.
Petitioner to speak on this, please.
Mr. President and council members, I'm Leslie Ellis, the City Controller. Appropriation 19 is for the Parks Non-Reverting Fund. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on Appropriation 19, 2017? Council?
Mr. President, move to approve Appropriation 19, 2017 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilwoman Aller, that we approve Appropriation 19, 2017. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 20, 2017, $1,114,500 from EMS Fund number 0270 to firefighter number 412010 for $1 million, to longevity number 412090 for $100,000, and to Medicare number 413020 for $14,500.
Petitioner to speak on this, please.
Mr. President and council members, I'm Leslie Ellis, the City Controller. This appropriation is for the EMS Fund.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on Appropriation 20, 2017? Council?
Mr. President?
Oh, hold on. I got a couple questions. I'm sorry. Okay. Jeff, I got a couple questions. You think you can come up here, Chief? Where are we at on the number of runs we have had this year compared? Are we higher than what we were last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you feel like we'll be in the year higher than previous year?
Yes.
Okay.
We're looking at probably just under 11,000, probably in between 10.6 and 11,000 runs for the year.
Okay.
That's 500 to 600 more than last year.
Okay. So have we been trending up on the number of runs? Like, is that a 2-year run of being higher than previous year, 3 years?
Yes, we're increasing.
Okay. One of the things that I'm concerned about this, I know the mayor gave this, Michelle, did you make copies of this? Did you? If you didn't, so we do.
No, I'm happy.
That's all right. I'll just wait. Looking at the plan, where are we at on getting new ambulances or new ladder truck? I know that's part of the schedule. So where are we at?
That's a great question. We're actually going to the Board of Public Works on Monday to approve the specs for new ambulances for next year.
So is that 3 new ambulances?
3 new ambulances.
What about ladder truck?
The ladder truck, we're hoping to bid that out take the specs to the Board of Works in January of next year.
Okay. So, Leslie, we're not going to have any issues with, if we take this 1.1 million?
No, sir. We will continue to monitor the fund, but for next year, it is fine.
Okay. And I know this is 2 years, we did it with our budget last year, and then we're doing this, we keep going into the EMS fund. Do you think we'll need to do that in the future?
We'll see where we stand. We look at each year individually, but we will see where the balance stands, and if there's room to pay for some EMS firefighters, we may move them, or we'll just see where we are.
Okay. That's all I have. Anybody else? Councilwoman Crossen?
Just for Chief Fisher, of those increased runs, those are primarily EMS, not fire runs, aren't they?
That's true.
Okay,
EMS is approximately 84% of our runs, EMS based.
Okay, thank you. Beal.
President Nasser, I think we're on 20. I make a motion to approve Appropriation 20, 2017 as presented.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilman DeBon, that we approve Appropriation 20, 2017. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 21, 2017, $150,000 from CCD Fund number 0402 to services contractual number 432010.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President and council members, I'm the City Controller, Leslie Ellis. Appropriation 21 is for the Cumulative Capital Development Fund, and we are appropriating money to services contractual.
Is there anybody from the public that'd like to speak on Appropriation 21, 2017? Council?
Mr. Nasser, I make a motion to approve appropriation 21, 2017 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilman Morris, that we approve appropriation 21, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 22, 2017, $2,273,000 from edit number 0404 to special events number 432025 for $69,000, to services contractual number 432010 for $1,193,000, to operating supplies number 422005 for $376,000, and to utilities number 436000 for $635,000.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President and council members, appropriation number 2 is for the edit fund. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on appropriation 22, 2017? Please state. You answered it for him?
I answered it. Is that okay?
What was your question, just out of
You
curiosity?
wanted to know what edit stood for,
Okay.
the Economic
All right.
Development Income Tax Fund.
Okay. Council?
President Nasser, I move to approve appropriation 22, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilman DeBon, that we approve appropriation 22, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Appropriation 23, 2017, $5 million from general fund number 0101 to patrolman number 412058 for $2,981,696. To employer police retirement number 413080 for $1,750,000, and to employer group health number 413030 for $268,304.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Mr. President and council members, appropriation, and Leslie Ellis, the city controller, appropriation 23 is for the general fund.
Is anyone from the public want to speak on appropriation 23, 2017? Council?
Mr. President.
Councilman Nation?
Leslie, are these the proceeds from the $5 million loan from redevelopment?
It seems like it works out that way, but money going in and money going out, I guess we could consider it that way, but I think that's probably a good way to look at it.
Well, I know it's all laundered through the pool, but...
I wouldn't use the term laundered.
Since it's all the same amount of money, that's, to me, that's...
It's documented quite well, yeah. Yes, I would say that's probably a good assumption.
So this is the last appropriation in a long list of shuffling money around to make up for years of deficit budgets under this administration. This is, to me, this is an exercise that is painful, and this particular piece of business, with depending on redevelopment money to bail out the bad decisions that have been made by the administration over the last few years, is an unfortunate position for us to be in. I can't support that. It's hard for me to support any of this because it's all so distasteful to me. My only hope at the end of all this is that we'll be in a better position next year as we have something closer to a blank slate. But this $5 million really puts the lie to that, because this $5 million is going to continue to be borrowed from the Department of Redevelopment to keep the books in the black, or make them look like they're in the black. I get it. I understand that this is something that we've been told to do, and I don't blame any of my fellow council members for going along with it, but I just had to state it. It's an unfortunate position that we all find ourselves in, having to clean up this mess. I yield.
Oh, sorry, Leslie.
May I speak?
Yes, you can.
I didn't know where the council started, if I could.
No, you're fine.
I agree. It is a very unfortunate position, and we all wish that we weren't in this position. All across the state, many face this. Some face it more than others. Other entities have raised money through lit, stormwater fees, different things that I know it's hard for our community to do. But if we don't want to limit the services, we've got to fix the revenue losses. We have lost a lot of revenue. Our budget is less than it was in 2008 for 2018. I think that's pretty good for 10 years. I might have said that backwards. Did I say it was less in 2008? It's less in 2018 than it was in 2008. Make sure I clarified that.
Mr. President, if there be no further discussion, I move that we approve appropriation 23, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman DeBon, second by Councilman Elliott, that we approve appropriation 23, 2017. Roll call vote, Michelle, please.
Councilwoman Aller.
Yes.
Councilman Azar.
Yes.
Councilwoman Crossan.
Reluctantly, yes.
Councilman DeBon.
Yes.
Councilman Elliott.
Yes.
Councilman Garrison.
Yes.
Councilman Morris.
Yes.
Councilman Nation.
No.
Councilman Nasser.
Yes.
That's 8 yes, 1 no.
Okay. Motion carries. Next order of business, Michelle, please.
Thank you.
Special ordinance 53, 2017, rezoning property located at 1631 Lafayette Avenue, favorable with conditions, recommendation from area planning.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Good evening, Mr. President, fellow members of the council. My name is Richard Shagley. I'm here tonight representing petitioner, AKL Investments. As we discussed last week, this is the property. It's a Triumph Goose property. One of the conditions was a variance on the setback of Lafayette. That variance was granted. It's the intention of the petitioner to, if this property is rezoned from R1 to C2, for a convenience mart to be built on this property. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Anyone from the public want to speak on special ordinance 53, 2017? Council?
President Hasser, I move to approve Special Ordinance 53, 2017 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilman Morris, that we approve special ordinance 53, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Special ordinance 54, 2017, vacating a portion of a north-south public alley located between 1255 Locust Street to the east and 1217 Locust Street to the west. No problems were noted.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Good evening, Mr. President, fellow members of the council. Again, my name is Richard Shagley. I'm here tonight representing petitioner AKL Investments. They're requesting that the alley between a lot that they own and another lot they own be vacated. The purpose of this is for expansion of the current building that is there. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. For the record, we've not received any complaints from any neighbors of any objection to this vacated alley.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on special ordinance 54, 2017? Council?
President Hasser, move to approve Special Ordinance 54, 2017 as presented.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilwoman Crossan, that we approve special ordinance 54, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Special ordinance 55, 2017, rezoning a property located at 1217 Locust Street and a portion of a vacated alley east of 1217 Locust Street. Area planning gave a favorable with conditions recommendation.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Good evening, Mr. President, fellow members of the council. My name is Richard Shagley. I'm here tonight representing petitioner AKL Investments. Part of this rezoning is the alley that was just approved to be vacated. This is a vacant lot next to that alley. It's intention of the petitioner, if this is rezoned, to extend the current building that will cross over the alley and into this lot for additional commercial space. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on special ordinance 55, 2017? Council?
President Nasser, Seeing no discussion, I move to approve Special Ordinance 55, 2017, as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Garrison, second by Councilman DeBon, that we approve Special Ordinance 55, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business, please.
Special Ordinance 56, 2017, vacating an east-west public alley located south of 2800 South 13th and a half Street. No problems were noted.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Good evening, Mr. President, fellow members of the council. My name is Richard Shagley. I'm here tonight representing Landmark Properties. They are, as stated, requesting this alley to be vacated. The purpose of this, they own both sides of this alley, and it's an opportunity for them to expand and make a bigger footprint in that area. Then they also own property to the south of that as well. As you may recall, I was here last month rezoning that, so this will all be one big piece of commercial property eventually. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on Special Ordinance 56, 2017? Council?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Aller?
there's no further questions. I move that we approve Special Ordinance 56, 2017, as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Aller, second by Councilman Garrison, that we approve Special Ordinance 56, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next
Thank
order
you.
of business, please.
Special Ordinance 57, 2017, rezoning a property located at 1340 and 1344 Wheeler Avenue and 2919 South 14th Street, and the vacated alley south of 2800 South 13th and a half Street. Area Planning give a favorable recommendation.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Good evening, Mr. President, fellow members of the council. Again, my name is Richard Shagley. I'm here tonight representing Landmark Property Development. They're requesting this property rezone is currently R1. This property abuts Canal, or it's right on Canal, and with the modification of Canal a few years back, or 13th Street, this is all commercial around it. It's the petitioner's hope that this would be rezoned commercial to match the rest of the property in this area, along with the vacated alley that was just approved. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on Special Ordinance 57, 2017? Council? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Please state your name and address for the record.
Donald Hud. I only have one question, and I have nobody ask it. In all these vacations of the alleys, again, I mentioned it last week, I'll mention it again. Is there going to become a problem with getting waste, the trash picked up? How are they going to get with no alleys around unless they go right out on the main highway and dump all this stuff? I think that's a fair question. I'd like to hear his answer.
That has been contemplated, and that is not an issue with this property. If you look at the map, there's clearly enough space to allow for collection, and not just off of Canal. And to kind of piggyback on Mr. Hyde's comment, this vacation, we received no calls, questions, or communications objecting to that vacation. Again, the petitioner owns both sides of that alley that's being requested.
Anybody else? Council?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Aller?
no further questions. I move that we approve Special Ordinance 57, 2017, as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Aller, second by Councilwoman Crossen, that we approve Special Ordinance 57, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
President Nasser, can I make a quick comment for Mr. Hyde? Mr. Hyde, we also get packets of information on most of these changes, zonings, and alley vacations, and most of the departments look at each one of these, the fire department, engineering, to make sure that there's no problems, and they'll note if there is. So we see all that. I know you don't get a chance to do it, but, so hopefully that helps. Sure.
My concern is, I'm wondering, and the reason I say this, you yourself have to know this, in the last 10, 12 years, we have closed a lot of city streets, a lot of alleys, and sold the children to other cars to drive around them. Now, I lived driving around and missing streets and all that stuff. But when you start closing down too many of those alleys, then it gets into the ability to throw away trash trucks here and there, job other city employees doing their job. What people explain to me, if they have no trouble, that's, I have no trouble.
Right, okay. Well, and I would add, I don't know if the microphone picked all that up, but one good thing, when we start closing some of these, we can combine smaller properties into bigger properties and then attract businesses to develop there. And I think that's what we're looking at here. But thanks for your comment. I hope that helped.
Next order of business, please.
Special Ordinance 58, 2017, rezoning of property located at 1255 Locust Street. Area planning give it favorable with conditions recommendation.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Good evening, Mr. President, fellow members of the council. My name is Richard Shagley. I'm with the law firm of Wright, Shagley & Lowry. I'm here tonight representing petitioner AKL Investments. This is part of the previous alley vacate and lot that was rezoned. It's the intention for this to be one big piece. It was currently zoned C2. We're asking it to be zoned C1 to match the alley and the other lot. Part of that was, if you stick with the C2, that lot's almost, not going to say worthless, but non-usable as a C2 due to buffering restraints. By going to a C1, it'll allow to actually develop this piece of property for its intended use. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Is there anyone for the public that'd like to speak on Special Ordinance 58, 2017? Council?
Mr. President?
Councilwoman Crossen?
No further questions by council. I move adoption of Special Ordinance 58. Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Crossen, second by Councilman Nation, that we approve Special Ordinance 58, 2017. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. If I may, Mr. President, I should have brought this up during the 30 minutes of non-agenda items, but I just want you to know I hope you all have a nice holiday, and see you soon. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you. Next order of business, please.
Resolution 22, 2017, approving the amendment of the Fort Harrison Business Park Economic Development Area.
Mr. President, members of the council, I'm Lou Britton, representing petitioner, the Redevelopment Commission. As we discussed last week, this is part of the process of amending that economic development area in order to permit changes to the economic development area that will allow the Pyrolex project to proceed. You will have before you next month an authorization for a bond, which is also related to that project. And so far as I know, that'll be the last piece of business you'll have on that project. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on Resolution 22, 2017? Council?
Mr. President,
Councilman Morris?
there's no further questions. I move that Resolution 22, 2017 be approved.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Morris, second by Councilman DeBon, that we approve Resolution 22, 2017. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lou.
Resolution 23, 2017, authorizing the extension of a temporary revolving loan from the Redevelopment Commission.
Petitioner, speak on this, please.
Council, Eddie Felling, City Attorney. As I discussed last week, this would be an extension of the $5 million loan from the Redevelopment Commission. Just to note, the sister resolution to this will be before the Redevelopment Commission, I believe November the 15th, after confirming with Mr. Britton. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Is there anyone for the public that'd like to speak on Resolution 23, 2017? Council? Hey, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I've been very critical of the mayor for a lot of these votes that we've had, but I give him credit that he's been before us and has answered all of our questions. Is there a reason why he's not here to discuss any of the items that were on the agenda tonight?
Really?
I'm just curious. Do you know?
I believe all the items on the agenda have been adequately represented.
Okay.
And I would be happy to answer any questions if you still have those that are left unanswered.
Okay.
Mr. President?
Councilman Crossen?
For the purposes of public spilling, this is the extension of the $5 million, correct?
Yes, Councilwoman, that would be an extension until June the 30th of 2018.
Mr. President.
Councilman Nation.
So Eddie, on June 30th, 2018, presumably we've received our first property tax disbursement by then, right?
Within a couple, probably 2 or 3 days before that.
So then we take $5 million of the property tax disbursement and put it towards that, towards this? Is that the vision, or?
I think that it would be a very safe guess that we would be before the council likely in May for an additional extension. And again, as Councilman Elliott noted at our meeting last week, the tentative plan would be to reduce that come the next extension. And the goal would be a $2 million goal at that point, as presented previously.
So in May, the administration will ask us to extend $2 million of this $5 million loan.
I believe that's correct. And I think that may have actually come from Councilman Elliott's worksheet that he had put together some months ago.
That's the number I recall when we were talking about that related to the solving the 1782 problem. But I think now's the time to begin the discussion with administration over all short-term borrowing for 2018.
So after the $2 million is not unanimously approved but passes, then when does that get paid back?
When does what get paid back?
The $2 million that they're going to ask for in May.
I'm not sure on that. Right now, the debt, short-term debt's 9, 4 on the tax anticipation warrant loan, and 5 to redevelopment. Right now, to satisfy 1782, we need the 5 to go on to June 30.
Correct.
Is what I remember from months ago. And then, so we can begin the discussion about what we need, what the administration thinks they're going to need from banks in the form of tax anticipation warrant. And I'm hoping it's no more than 2, so we at least whittle that 9 down to 7 in the spring. And hopefully it gets whittled down some more at June 30 when the $5 million comes up for either repayment or renewal. So, I mean, it's time to start the discussion, ask for their cash flows and whatever they do to tell us.
And if I may add, that I don't necessarily mean it'll be May that conversation starts. I know, Councilman Elliott, you're all concerned what the $2 amounts are. We'll be coming before you for the TAW as well, the tax anticipation warrant. There's going to be an ongoing discussion about how you allocate those, what the dollar amount is that's needed, and how you go about borrowing that, whether you do it through a tax anticipation warrant or you do it through a loan, an interdepartment loan.
Thanks, Ail.
President Nasser, just to comment, it seems like, and no offense to you, Eddie, but it just seems like we're doing more, instead of annual borrowing, we're doing more 6 month, 6 month, 6 month. We call them short-term borrowing, but when we keep putting these all together, it becomes, in my mind, it's still long-term borrowing. And I was told, I think we all were, that we would have that reduction in the redevelopment fund so we could start planning for development. If we wait till the middle of the year, when are they going to make their plans? Are they going to be able to plan anything for the end of the year? And so I'm having a problem with this. So I yield. No offense to you. You've done a great job. But at some point, I just think we need to get back on projects and start developing again. I yield.
Well, Mr. President, if there are no further discussion or questions, I would move Resolution 23, 2017 be approved.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Elliott, second by Councilman DeBon, that we approve Resolution 23, 2017. Roll call vote, Michelle, please.
Councilwoman Aller.
Yes.
Councilman Azar.
Yes.
Councilwoman Crossen.
No.
Councilman DeBon.
Yes.
Councilman Elliott.
Yes.
Councilman Garrison.
No.
Councilman Morris.
Yes.
Councilman Nation.
This money was not collected to pay day-to-day bills. I can't support this, no.
Councilman Nassar.
No.
That's 5 yes, 4 no.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. New business, Michelle, please.
Appropriation 24, 2017, $48,398.81 from police to overtime number 412129.
Finance.
Appropriation 25, 2017, $1,456.28 from police to repair supplies number 423015.
Finance.
Appropriation 26, 2017, $282,737.68 from sanitary district general number 0298 to sanitary district bond fund number 0330000000391-042.
Finance.
Appropriation 27, 2017, $1,341,990.39 from wastewater utility number 0620 to sanitary district bond fund number 03300000391-042.
Finance.
Appropriation 28, 2017, $1,343,418.84 from wastewater utility number 0620 to wastewater utility capital improvement fund number 0610-0000000391-042.
Finance.
Appropriation 29, 2017, $25,000 from motor vehicle highway number 0201 to workers' comp number 435010.
Finance.
Appropriation 30, 2017, $40,700 from clerk's document perpetuation fund number 0236 to services contractual number 432010 for $35,000 and purchase of computer equipment number 444030 for $5,700.
Finance.
Appropriation 31, 2017, $927.01 from city clerk other revenue number 390110 to clerk publication of legal notices number 434010.
Finance.
Special Orders 59, 2017, authorizing the issuance of taxable economic development revenue bonds, Pyrolex project.
Finance.
Special Ordinance 62, 2017, amending appropriation 10, 2016, as amended the 2017 City of Tahoe budget.
Finance.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Azar, second by Councilman DeBon, that we adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Or adjourned. Michelle, thanks for everything.